We are live on the TubeBuddy channel. This has been a long time coming. We haven't been live on this channel in, I want to say we haven't been live since like April. I think it's the last time we've been live on this channel has been April, and we have a special stream for everybody today. We wanted to bring on a YouTube expert and YouTube insider. This guy has worked at YouTube and Instagram for 8 years. He is the head creator advisor here at TubeBuddy, and we're going to talk about shorts today. And the reason we really wanted to bring on this special guest is because he has experience beyond my experience, beyond a lot of creators' experience with shorts. Over the last month, he's been able to generate 50 million views on his shorts channel. And that is why today, my friends, we are going to bring in Jon Youshaei. But before we do that, I just want to let everybody know, bring him in. And just to be clear, this is my first time going live, so I'm a little nervous. Jon, you look very comfortable, like you do this every day. But Judah, my first time, y'all. So have some grace with me. We're gonna make this stream happen. But Jon's on the screen. But before we jump into Jon, I just want to let everybody know that I thought about this right before we went live. When we go live, we give away a prize. That's what I want to do every time we go live on this channel. So at the end of the stream, for those of you who stick around, we will give one of you a free TubeBuddy upgrade. And for those of you who are watching the restream, we are going to pick one of the comments off of the restream, let's say in a few days from now, to give you a free TubeBuddy upgrade also. And I also have a special offer for those of you who don't get the upgrade, but we do have a special offer for Black Friday that I'll tell you all about at the end. So, Jon, what's going on, my man?
Not much, my man. I'm excited to be doing this with you, trying something new. I see everyone in the chat. Jon, what's up, Stanley? Madden. All right. Check it out. All right. Well, I'm so stoked. It's going to be a fun one.
I love seeing the chat coming in. So I guess, let's not waste time. So what the structure of this is really going to be, we're going to talk to you about how to pretty much blow up on YouTube Shorts. Jon, you went from like this, like if you look at Jon's going to show you this in a sec, but he went from like this line of views, like real low views, and then out of nowhere, boom, just a skyrocketing in views. And I think that's something that a lot of the creators here on the stream want to happen for their own channels. Because, shorts is this new thing. Everybody's getting into it. You have creators who are having, they're blowing up with shorts. And then you have those creators who aren't really getting many results with shorts. So I guess how I really want to start this conversation is, what is something that you see a lot of creators do wrong when they approach their short strategy?
Yeah, so I have been on the inside. I've now been like creating for the past 12 months to a year. And I wanted to share what happened in month 10, because I think I was making some of the mistakes I see so many people make. And then we made a switch and views just went through the roof. So if you guys bear with me here, I'm going to actually present some slides. I just want to make sure I'm valuing your time as much as possible and sharing some stuff that Judah and I have been talking through and prepping for. So let me go ahead and share this, kind of the before and after. So here we go. Sharing my screen. Here's the window. Here we go. And then Judah, is that showing up? Boom, perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
I see it.
And let me go full screen with it. Amazing. And you guys could all still see it? Yes?
Yeah. It's a little smaller this time, but I think we
interesting.
I think it's bigger this way actually, but I mean, viewers, you tell me.
Yeah, if it's bigger this way, let's keep it with it. But essentially, first 10 months, you see some flatline growth, and then boom, in the last 12 months, July 27th, there's a big change, and you see like 2.4 million views a day. And I think it's because there's a change in strategy. There's a change in, what happened. Like also like a lot of like stuff qualitatively started happening, like 75 million views on TikTok during this time, 3 million on Instagram, got a show on Snapchat, got honored as a LinkedIn top voice. Just a lot of things started clicking during this 2-month period. And so I wanted to share some
real quick, Jon.
Yeah.
Before you go on, I just want to make sure we really capitalize on that point you made. So what you're showing us is not because you were just patient. You were just posting shorts and say, oh yeah, they'll blow up one day. You actually shifted your strategy to what you're about to share. And that strategy shift caused this massive growth for you.
You got it. Patience is definitely an important thing to have. But sometimes as like, I think as that quote, I'm going to butcher who it's from, but the definition of insanity is trying the same thing and trying to expect different results. I tried
That's
something
good.
different. I got different results. I tried a lot of different things. So what I want to do is save you guys all the time of how I got there. I see you. I see you. Yeah, tell us. We got it. Oh, UFC's in the house. Yeah. And hey,
Yes, I
Sarah
love the
Ray.
comments.
Yeah. So yes, you're absolutely right. So what changed? And if you're wondering, I know there's a lot of webinars, a lot of live streams, a lot of these sessions out there. We're not going to go into like the obvious, being consistent, being original, being authentic. You already know that. You already know that. If
Right.
you're on this call, you already know that. So what was different? And what changed? So here's the thing that really struck with me in terms of, how I started like thinking about my channel differently. And I think what it came down to is the fact that there's two types of creators. There are people who have these classic formats that I like to think of as a talk show, right? It's more of a monologue, it's an explainer, or it's an interview. We see these all over YouTube,
Mm.
right? Um, but there are these new formats that I like to think of myself as like using shorts to create a variety show and create one for the creator economy. And so I started trying to think about what are short segments, like maybe you see on a talk show, that I can start to put on my channel, like that could share insights that kind of relate to the creator economy. So one of those was this creators versus celebrities one. And I'm curious if people saw it. This video. I think we're at 17 million views right now. This one
Mm.
alone. Or maybe it's a Mr. Beast one. We have one that's already 22 million. Like if you look at my channel, just look up my name, you could see some of the views on this. But who are these two people? Is that Logan Paul and I don't know who the other one. Logan Paul. I don't know who the fuck that is. Tom Cooley. Tom Cooley. That's my boy. He be fighting, and that's my man that be acting. Well, that's one of the Pauls, and that's why am I forgetting that? Tom Hanks. You got it, right? It's like we've all heard the insight. Creators have more of a following today than maybe celebrities do, but to see it viscerally explained like this is something I hadn't seen before. Thank you, Stanley. Like I just want to conceptualize it in a short form way. And so again, like everything I'm trying to do is ladders up to the creator economy and saying something different in a different way. And this took off. Casey Neistat even retweeted or tweeted out one of the TikToks I did comparing him to George Clooney, which I couldn't believe. Like, can you imagine like your favorite YouTuber saying you made his favorite TikTok? You know,
Mm.
that that was a highlight. I did one about like SpongeBob, or sorry, did Bill Gates versus Graham Stephan, both like very like respecting the finance space. Like people, like even the people I made the videos about started commenting, Graham Stephan's disappointed that SpongeBob, who I interviewed on the street, did not know who he was. Shame on him. Shame on you, SpongeBob. But also like creator office hours is something I did with TubeBuddy. It's like one of the more successful videos on the channel, I think all time, is our creator office hours where I answered questions from the audience, similar format, but just much more concise. And the video itself got 275,000 views, but the shorts, them like each of them, like these have gotten 200, 300, 400,000 views on TikTok. And I know we're starting to roll them out on the channel. And then other things, like I'm not here to say that everything went well. Like I think the thing with a variety show, if you think about your shorts format in that way, instead of a classic format, you have to try different things. Like I did tutorials, right? Like this. Anyways, you get it. People have seen these videos. I tried them. They did okay, not too well. And so basically started experimenting with all these different formats. Like look at this. Like how many people can say like that on their channel they're trying so many different formats that ladder up to a niche. And what I like to think is like you have to marry a niche, but you have to vary your format. So marry and vary. But most people just marry a niche and marry a format. And they don't think about themselves as a variety show. They think about themselves as a talk show. So as soon as I started experimenting with all these different formats, it started as soon as I started changing my set. It started as soon as like going outside, filming inside, like not relying on one tried and true format is when I saw things take off. And even like we've tried formats like again, everything ladders up to the creator economy, but it's like these songs, these viral songs that people are playing on TikTok, like they get billions of views, but do people who know who the creator or artist behind them is? Not really. So those have gotten hundreds of thousands, and one of them I think has 2.1 million views. And then we're about to put out some new formats that are like creator versus brand, Prime versus Gatorade, Feastables versus Hershey's, and then drawing your income. So after this like took off, you know, like a lot of like the views that came from our videos like just popped off. Like here's just an example of you know, several of them. You see these are on TikTok alone, like and on YouTube some of the views are greater, with 11 million views, 10 million views, 6 million views, 5 million views, 4 million views, all around a format that if I stayed in my studio and just continued to do interviews and monologues, which have a place, are valuable, and I'm going to continue doing those, would not have led to the influx of views that I've not seen. And we've grown about 50, 60,000 subscribers in the past month. We're now at 155 subs. So, yeah, I think the more you look at it, and I think there's a lot of commentary in the chat, like what about like small creators? I think if you're a small creator, there's never been a better time to experiment with all this. So anyways, that's a lot of like what worked. And I think we're going to look at channels today in terms of how can we apply this to your work and make it more actionable.
Yeah, I think this is amazing because, you know, what I really see from this presentation, Jon, is one, that a lot of creators forget the fact that they need to keep experimenting. Like you say, you know, that definition of insanity is doing that same thing over and over again. But you're like, you know what? I'm going to humble myself. I'm going to practice in public. I'm going to win sometimes. I'm going to fail a lot of the times. But ultimately, this is going to be my phase of testing things until I find that series that ladders up to my overall, you know, content that's going to work for my channel. You've seen insane results from that.
Exactly. And I think like, again, just think about like also how can you turn a stat into a story in your niche? How can you make minor, not major changes? Like I studied a ton of on the street formats. I studied a ton of late night show formats where they go outside of their desk. And I was like, you know what? How can I apply that to my niche and do exactly what you just said?
I love that. So what we're going to do on this stream is like, we wanted to make sure that the things that Jon's talking to you about can be applied to your channel. So we're going to let a lot of you just be a fly on the wall as we go through a series of different creators who sent us their channels on our Twitter account. And we asked the audience if they wanted to get their channels reviewed by Jon. We have a bunch of your channels here, and Jon and I are going to go through them and look at your shorts, look at your overall channel, and tell you the things that you can do better. But Jon, I also asked our audience for some questions. And I went to our community tab, said, hey, what are the biggest questions that you have regarding YouTube Shorts? So I want to know if you mind answering just like 4 of them for me real quick, because I think our audience would find a lot of value from that. Okay, Jon's going to be on the hot seat. But so I think the first question that a lot of creators are having, they're long form creators. They want to get into short form. They're not like crazy for it, but they want to get those short form viewers to cross over to their long form content. Some of them are posting clips. Some of them are finding different strategies to do that with like pinned comments and such. I want to hear from you. Like, what do you think is the best strategy for a primarily long form creator to use shorts to push viewers to their long form content?
Yeah, so I think the big thing to realize is a lot of people say, is it short form or long form? It's really and also a lot of people like, is long form dead? It's not. Like long form is just rearranged. And let me give you a prime example of what I mean by that. So those, like, to go back into that example of the creator versus celebrities, like I've done about 20 of those, maybe 15 to 20 of those comparisons. And then after I saw this, or before I saw this performing well, actually the idea where it started was I put together a compilation as a long form, and it performed okay. But then after I started taking just like in one compilation, maybe I put together like 5 or 6 of them back to back to back. But when I took one of them out, posted it, and then linked to the long form, people started coming and watching the long form because the short form was taking off. So I think the takeaway there is, if you have long form videos that are, let's say, listicles, and you're like 5 tips to do XYZ, take one of those tips, turn it into a short, and make sure that the pinned comment links back to the long form. We saw other examples where, like, we'll get into this in some of the videos, but if you're doing a pure trailer where it's all tease and no substance, that may not work as well. Like, try to think about how you could give give the appetizer to the entree, so to speak.
I love that. And I love how you mentioned this, because that was actually the next question. You said that because a lot of creators are like, well, shorts are here everybody's eyeballs is on shorts. YouTube's pushing shorts. Is long form content dead because of shorts, or do you? What are your beliefs on that?
No, not at all. Like both have to work
Yeah.
together. Not at all. Like I think that like it's just the like yeah, you could say like maybe people's attention spans are lower. There's a lot of studies around that, but I also think people's bars for quality are higher. And
Mm.
so, you have to work that much harder or be that much more creative. Like I'd say a lot of the things we do, like with those like on the street, it's more pre-production and like what's the idea, what's the question, what's the concept, and then we go out and film. And the actual filming part of it and the editing part of it is more straightforward after we especially nail it down. So yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I wanna ask you something that I believe is really gonna help a lot of the creators who are posting shorts. They're getting some views. They're not taking off. Like that presentation was amazing and it was helpful. But as we go back into like our analytics and we're looking at like engagement, we're looking at things like retention, we're looking at like the different data points after we upload a short. What are the like signs that you're looking for? What are the things that you're seeing like that mimic success across your different successful shorts?
Yeah, a great question, Judah. I think about like we all know average view duration is super important for long form, but I really take a look at it for short form with an even higher bar. Can you hit
Mm,
80 to 90%? And can the first part of your short actually be above 100%? I know that's crazy to think about, but it just
right.
goes to show that if you're putting something out that a lot of people are watching, then it hopefully gets like a rewatch and a reshare. Let me fix the focus here. Yeah.
There it is.
So yeah, thinking about that, like just make sure like, and there's ways that you could like think about, um, like the way I have really experimented with shorts is to get rid of introductions. Like let's go just because we're
Mm,
going down this train, like this creator versus celebrity example, we've talked about it a bit, and I want to make sure like the takeaway is clear as possible. Here's some versions of that video that did not make it. Hey
mm,
guys, here we are on Hollywood Boulevard asking people about whether the creators are more famous than celebrities. That was a 4-second intro. That's way too long. So after time, I kept doing different takes, and then we got to who's more popular? Who are
right.
these two people? And I just held up the visual,
Okay.
right?
And
And so I cut down 4 or 5 seconds of an intro down to 1 second. And I think the phrase like yeah, a word is like a picture is worth 1,000 words is even more true when it comes to short form. Because if I'm looking at that visual and I can't gather what the video is about, there's no attention, you're going to have to work really hard to win me over.
right, right. And I think something that's super important is like I think that's a perfect example of just respecting your viewers' intelligence. Like, we don't need you to sit here and explain it and get us into it, because then you'll do that multiple. Like, you've done this series a number of times. If I'm really into the series, one, I'm not gonna watch you explain it from scratch every time I go to a new one. That just interrupts the pattern where I'm feeling satisfied as a viewer. It's like, dang, I hear this all the time. Hurry up, hurry up. And because YouTube, you can't skip forward, that makes things a lot worse. So I really do love that. I think as we scroll down, we can see the visual, the concept is clear. We're making connections as a viewer, and I think that's an incredible tip for our viewers out there. So I know I have one more question, and if we see something from the chat, go ahead and drop it. We can pull it up if you feel inclined to, John. But I know a lot of creators are
Yeah.
pumping out shorts. And one of the questions in the community tab that I'm actually really interested in myself is there this magic number to posting shorts? And let me give you a little bit background. Like, I go on Instagram, on Twitter, and some creators are saying like my channel blew up this much because I started posting 3 shorts for every long form content, or I started posting 4 shorts for every long form piece of content. What have you seen to be like that number of shorts that you're putting out? If there's a number that matters, is there a number that matters, John?
Yeah. And I'm just looking at some of the comments like, um, uh, Tropical Home says that how many shorts should we be doing daily? Yeah, I think that's part of this question. Madden says, thank you for the tips. Yep, more coming. Don't worry, we're just getting started. Blessings from Belzin or okay. So the question is like the quantity of shorts and if there's a
Right.
ratio to long form. Is that right, Judah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so in general, I think about like batch production and scheduled release. So for example, when I go out and shoot these like concepts, actually let me go ahead and present my screen again. Um So I think like a lot of people want to talk about like how many videos should I post? But I think it's more about like how many videos can you film in a 3-hour time span? That's the way I think about it. And if you can't film, especially with shorts, 9 in 3 hours, and I'd say like bringing that down to 3 in 1 hour, which again sounds crazy, then your idea is probably not simple enough or it's not repeatable enough. Both of which can be issues. And it's okay to do one-offs. You know, sometimes you want to push the boundaries, you want to experiment. But if you want to think about how you can really push the boundaries of production while still making something quality, really refine that idea. So, for example, I'll go out to Hollywood Boulevard. We'll have a bunch of these like comparisons, celebrities versus creators are like, you know what? That's an interesting comparison. There's something about saying PewDiePie, who's the, you know, up until recently been the top of the YouTube world, versus Messi, you know, top of the football world. Football, sorry guys, World Cup fans, don't get mad. And doing a bunch of those and going out for 3 hours, filming, asking a bunch of people those questions, and then boom, going home, editing them, 9 videos, put them out. I think that's like close to, in that span alone, 20, 30 million views, right? And so if you're asking how many videos should I put out, I think about how many videos can you film, and do you have a concept, at least when it comes to shorts, that's simple and repeatable enough, even with creator office hours that we do here on TubeBuddy. The ones that are in long form and shorts, like I'll think about, all right, what are the questions? How can I give the most succinct and comprehensive answers? And scripting comes before. Like, that's not to say that the scripting process won't take a while. It probably will. Pre-production, like even like the printouts you see on Creatorverse, like those take a while, like thinking about how to get it. Like, but once you're sitting down, like once you're looking at the camera, how can you make that process so fast that you can produce 3 pieces of content in 1 hour? So I think about that as the ratio. And if you're doing that, your output's probably going to be pretty good.
Right. So like in short, it's just like really it's just mindful of what the creator can output and achieve in that space of time that they have as a creator. And then how many shorts are you putting out on a regular basis, because you're getting 50 million views a month. So
Yeah.
it's like I know other creators are doing this and doing that. I think everybody in this chat wants to be able to get 50 million views a month. I mean, a lot of the creators here, they're like, oh man, YouTube Shorts monetization is coming out. I don't know if I can get 10 million views. You're doing 5 times that. So what does Jon's output look like?
Yeah, so a few things. One, believe me, for everyone who's in the chat who's ever stared at your YouTube studio and you see it going up by 1, 2, 100, 200, I've been there. I promise you I've been there. And the thing I believe is that success compounds. So if you think it's like, oh my God, I have to wait like another like 5 years for this to go up to 500. No. Like, believe me, like month 10, we made the change. We started seeing the success compound. For me, output has been about 3 to 4 of these shorts per week. And now like because my travel schedule, I've slowed down a bit on that, but we're going to pick that back up. And we've done a bunch of shoots that, and we're actually editing videos that we're excited to put out on TubeBuddy from creative disruption. So it's like also editing resources and all that. But yeah, 3 to 4 shorts per week. Every other day was like when we really hit our peak. And I'm also looking at the comments. Like, let me find this comment from Food Vanisher. Where are you? You said, okay, Food Vanisher said, I'm a comedian. How do I capitalize on shorts? Okay, let's take this same philosophy and bring it to you. All right, if you're a comedian, you might be doing an open mic, right? You may be going to your local comedy club, and there's a chance for you to take your set. Maybe it's 10 minutes, maybe it's 15 minutes, depending on how long you go, and get a camera on you, ask them to bring in some house lights, just get the footage, make sure you're mic'd up, have good audio. And then right then and there in 10 minutes, you probably have 3 clips, right? And then if you're able to do improv work or crowd work, then you maybe have another 3 to 4, taking a look at like what I think what a lot of comedians are doing nowadays. So again, same philosophy, different niche, hopefully, similar order of magnitude of output.
Yeah, Jon, I want to like piggyback on that, because one cool format that I've been seeing a lot on YouTube Shorts is like, I have a belief that anybody can get into shorts, no matter what genre, no matter what content you make, you can get into short form content. I seen this lawyer make shorts. You're like, oh, how the heck does a lawyer make shorts that are so wide appealing to everybody? Well, what he does is he stands in a park with a sign that says "Ask a lawyer a question." Have you seen those? Yeah,
No, no,
and
but
then
that's
the
actually
audience.
really that's really interesting. What's his name? I've actually been thinking about a similar
I,
concept, like
yeah,
free social media audits
yeah,
and doing that.
exactly. Yeah, so
But what's
I'll
his
look up
channel?
the
That's
name.
really good.
I'll find it, and for those of you watching the replay, I'll put it in the description after this. But I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember his name, but he has a sign that says "Ask a lawyer a question." If somebody knows it, drop it in the chat. But I think that that's just a really good example of how this lawyer went over to YouTube and make this extremely successful viral piece of content. And like as we're talking to a comedian, like me personally, I think a cool series would be if this comedian stood with a sign saying, "I'm a comedian, make me laugh." And then
Mm.
audience people walking down the road went up to him and said, try to make him laugh. And that interaction could be cut up in 20 different pieces per hour, like 20 different pieces of content per hour. Like that's insane.
Yeah, well said. And I think like we're talking about a lot of different industries. Like one of the things that I'm so tired of hearing is my industry is not interesting enough to get views. That's not true. That's not true. It's just you got to think of an interesting angle. And I'd say like if you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're all these industries that maybe don't embrace digital forms of media as much now, though there's examples like Dr. Mike, Legal Eagle, like we could go down the road. That's such an opportunity for you to innovate further.
Right. Like I've been watching Dental Digest. Anybody?
Oh, Dental
Like I don't.
Digest. Yeah. Shout
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
that's a
He's
perfect
amazing.
example. Like I don't really
Perfect.
care about too much, but that's a perfect example of like you being innovative in your space. And Dental
Fantastic.
Digest, he's inside behind a desk, just him and the camera entertaining viewers. So like
Yep.
I know a lot of the examples that we might have in their channel reviews, and some of the examples show creators out in public, doing public things, experimenting new formats out in public. Me personally, I don't think I'll ever be a creator that just goes out in public and do those kind of things. So it's encouraging to
Why not?
also
You
see
could do.
these
You'd be great.
examples. I probably would. Who knows? I might do it someday, but even this live stream makes me nervous. But
No, dude, you're doing awesome.
but there's those creators who are able to do that. So unless we see some questions in the chat, John, I know we have 3 channels that we wanted to walk through and review and kind of talk through their shorts and see what we can give them advice for what things that they can do better. But this is an opportunity for the viewers on this video to go like, you know what? I see an opportunity for myself that I can take from that takeaway that we share today.
Exactly. And also, if you're listening, drop your channel link down below. Maybe we'll try to do one like interaction with folks who are here. So drop your channel URL and we'll take a look at it. But let's go through the ones that you prepped already, Judah. I'm stoked.
Awesome. And those of you in the chat, Stanley, you might have to jump over to our YouTube comment filters because I think we block links, and I don't know if they can send it on the stream or not.
Oh, good point. Good point.
So they might have to just tweet us out at TubeBuddy with their channel link. I don't know if they'll come through the chat or not.
Okay.
So
Noted.
we shall
Or
see.
maybe if it's like, I guess is their channel name like what their handle is? Like I see Yasmin Williams Woods. Like I guess if you wanted to do, oh, perfect. Yeah, she left her handle. Okay, great. So yeah, maybe just leave a handle if links don't work.
That works.
Yeah.
Cool. There we go.
And we're gonna keep these super candid. So if you submitted, like we assume that you want the most real version of this feedback, not sugar coated or watered down.
Yeah, you set the stage, John. Like a lot of creators, they want to hear things that are pleasing to the ears, and it's so easy to just to tell you, oh, like you said earlier, just be consistent and have passion for it and all this, like just like these brainless stuff that everybody says. Like in this conversation, we really want to dive deeper, give you some actionable feedback, and critique your content in a way that's actually going to push you forward.
Holy crap,
and not
look at
just
all these submissions.
There it is.
Oh my
there
God.
It is.
No, roast me. I can take it. Okay, healthy Tiffany. I like that.
I love
we want
it.
the real
I love
tea.
it.
By the way, and by the way, this is our first time like June and I are doing this. It's amazing to see like this many people wanting to get their channels like roasted / audited. So like let us know, or like make sure you're following the channel. If this is something that you want us to see us continue doing, then we'll do it. Like we're here to just serve and help creators like you, like just like the TubeBuddy product does and the platform does, and your feedback like on our content is taken as seriously as on our product. So it's cool to see all this, and I know our it's something that we'll take to heart for sure.
Love it. So John, you want to share your screen? Maybe we can just jump into some of these channels or
Yeah, who
some
should
of
we
your.
who should we go to first? Same one as our prep, or like how do you
Yeah.
want to do the URL pull up?
Yeah, I think out of respect to the people who sent us stuff through Twitter, because we asked a few days ago, we did pull out like 2 or 3 of your channels. So if we want to just hop into that one first and let people and let Stanley, if Stanley you want to pull out some of the commenters and send them over to us, we can start doing that in a moment.
Yeah. And then Judah, I see our chat here, so I got the first one. For the second and like, should I pull the other ones from our doc, or can you just send me the link in our chat? So I got the first one
Uh,
up, Mr. Humanity. I'll share here
yeah,
in a second, and then can you just put the second and third one, like whatever the follow-up ones? I'll look in our chat to open that up.
awesome.
Yeah, unless there's another chat. I'm just seeing yours most visibly here using the software for the first time.
Yeah, I just threw in one into our chat, and then we can just pull one from the audience after that.
Okay,
I think I
perfect.
wanted to make sure the people who came today get their channels looked at. So let's do that. Do it that way.
Amazing. Great. Okay. So we're going to start off with Mr. Humanity, and then we're going to go to crafting Vegeto. Vegeto, is that the one? Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right.
That is correct.
All right, here we go. Our first channel that we're reviewing, roasting, auditing, call it what you want. Mr. Humanity, thanks for submitting. This means that you're entering the gauntlet. All right. 20,000 subs. Nice. All right. Now let's just take first impressions here, right? Mr. Humanity, I see dollar bills behind or $100 bills behind. I see what looks like the main talent of the channel in the center in the green hoodie, and then the folks kind of like his cohort or his ensemble to his side. So media, I'm like, all right, there's something Mr. Beast-esque happening here, given the color scheme, given the name. Money's being given away. So right then and there, I'm getting a sense of things. I wish there was a call to action or an idea of like how often they post, because that would
Right.
encourage me to subscribe a bit more. But just kind of giving general reactions, and of
Real,
course,
real quick,
even
John. Real
yeah,
quick, John. There's something he's doing that I see so many other creators forget. Is you can like if you zoom back out and look at his banner,
yeah,
like the spacing looks awkward to us, right? It looks awkward. There's
mhm,
a lot of space on the edges that is clearly there. But like if you really think about it, like this is a very smart thing he's doing is being mindful. Like a lot of creators might try to fill in that space, not realizing that when their viewers are on mobile, all of that crap is getting cut off. All
great
of it's
point.
getting cut off. So I think it's a really smart thing that he's doing. So those of you who are like, I don't know if I like the banner. There's so much space in the end. He should have made it bigger. No, this was a very smart move on his part.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up on mobile right now just so people can compare and see it. Um, but that's exactly right. Like, yeah, kudos to Mr. Humanity. Like, if you look at it, it's like perfectly centered. And
Hmm.
so I think like good call out, Judah. Yeah, be mindful of mobile, TV, and desktop, I'd say. But all right, looking into like the channel trailer itself, it's really interesting that like I see two approaches to channel trailers. One is like recency, like taking your most recent video, putting it in there, and the other one is popularity. For this one, I definitely say like go after your more popular video. Like, not that 600 views in 8 days is not like respectable for anyone who's trying to upload, especially consistently. But like, let's just look at your other popular videos, like $2,000 random act of kindness to a homeless single mom. This does two things much better than the trailer video. And I'd encourage everyone thinking about this to go through their own channel in the same like mindset. If you have a video that has done well and speaks to the value prop of your channel, again, speaks to what your content is about. Like in this video, it's he's giving away money, random acts of kindness. It seems very aligned to the header, the content. Put that as your channel trailer, right? Most people who come to your channel are not subscribed. So they're going to be seeing that. And that's a better look than showing this, which again is recent, but it's not the most viewed. So immediately I'm like, this channel maybe is not as popping as I would think. So I may
Right.
not subscribe. Right.
Agreed.
Super quick
And
reason.
just
Let's be honest, factors into people's thinking.
exactly, John. And the one like something that's so simple to do that I think a lot of people just kind of overlook is like I personally choose the videos that pull like say you have a video that either represents your channel the best or pulls in the most subscribers. Like even with how I structure playlists, like you can use TubeBuddy to reorder your playlist in certain ways, like which videos are giving me the most watch time, which videos are pulling me the most views. And a lot of people just throw content together and put things as their trailer that's just like not as effective as it could be. So I would just put, like you said, put your best foot forward, show people the best that you have to offer, especially when you're making a playlist. It's unlikely that they're going to watch all 20 videos in your playlist. Start with the best ones. Start the ones that are giving you, helping you reach the goals that you're looking for, in my opinion.
Yeah. 100%, Judah. And I'm seeing comments coming. Tiffany's like, I've heard a lot of people ignore the channel trailer. That may be true, ignoring in terms of watching, but your eye can't help but see like what's in that digital real estate in terms of title and views. And so if I'm seeing, again, like think about all of this as a signal. If I'm going to a channel for the first time, either in search or because I found a video that I liked, I'm like, let's check out what they're all about. And you see a channel trailer that's like, like maybe it's not getting as many views. I'm like, maybe that video I watched was a one-off. Or if I see something at the top, I'm like, I'd be more likely to click it if it has more people saying this is a good video. Think about your own consumption habits on homepage. If something has 2 million, 3 million, 4 million views, are you maybe more likely to click on that in addition to it having a good thumbnail and headline? Probably, right? Social proof. So continuing on, like I think another thing people don't think about, like your channel is a catcher's mitt, right? Like after like people are coming through, like they're basically like coming back to your channel and being like, should I make the decision to watch more or to really subscribe? And just as a quick detour, but related, I had a chance to interview Pat, who does film theory. Amazing creator. He has
Love
multiple
that.
channels with millions of views. And you can see here that like, his stuff is like, he's taking a different approach to like how he puts out his videos, like recency here. Maybe he's looked at like he has greater subscriber numbers. Maybe he's trying to drive views to this because he knows that his videos are getting suggested. And so they're coming back to the channel. That gives the original or the newest video more of a push. But one thing that's really interesting is like his playlist strategy is really smart. So sometimes when he puts out videos about superhero theories, like watch his channel, he'll move this playlist to the top of his channel, right? Or move it higher up. Sometimes if he has like Disney theories, like let's say that this was 9 months ago and he put out this film theory about Encanto, he'll move this playlist up to a higher position on the playlist, or at least he did when I had a chance to speak with him and interview him. And I think a lot of people like miss that as another strategy to make your video or make your channel the strongest catcher's mitt, the strongest like version of like the funnel, as opposed to being leaky and losing people after they come in. So another thing they think about, like, and I say that because here it seems like it's completely disorganized. Shorts is first, right? But yeah, like these are bigger thumbnails, but does that really give an idea of like what your channel is about? Created playlist, like again, we don't want to see playlist to playlist. Show us an actual name of like what the like show us the actual like videos or like the playlist, show us the playlist so we can see the videos within it. And then popular videos is good, but again, if you have different formats, which I think he does, like random acts of kindness, flash sales, meet the team, show those as full-on playlists.
Love
and
it.
then
Love
I don't
it,
know,
love it.
should we watch a short, give feedback, and go on to the next one?
Yeah. Let's watch a short, then let's move on to the next one. And John, I know you're busy, so out of respect for your time, like I want to make sure that we cover as much as possible. So I don't want to push you farther than your time allows. But I'll let you have the reins. I'll work with you here. But when your time availability is up, let me know here. But
let's do this because I want to make
Yeah.
sure our first one is off to a great start, and for everyone who's commented and leaving your channel, I want to make sure that we get to as many as possible, but also that we keep you guys bookmarked if we do this again, which I'm seeing more and more. It sounds like we will. So let's do this. Let me. I think we've given a lot of love to this channel, and hopefully, Mr. Humanity, if you're watching this, if you're listening to it, I know we've talked before. Hopefully, these tips are practical and helpful. And there's more that we could definitely talk about. Let's go to the next one, and then maybe I'll take one or two more from the comments to give feedback.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. All right, so crafting. Let me go to you. All right. Okay. Immediately, I want to just like take an impulse check of what I'm seeing. Crafting Vegeto. Okay. 262,000 subscribers. Great job. Let me see a sense of like, all right, JoJo scenes, playing the weirdest JoJo games ever. Okay. I already have a sense of what your channel is about. Anime commentary, JoJo shitpost. Okay. And then let me just take a look at your videos for what has been performing the best. What are the number one and the area? Attack on Titan. Oh. Got it. Okay. Great. So I think like right now it's clear you have a defined niche, which makes a lot of sense. But let me watch this most recent video. So my viewers decided to dub iconic JoJo there.
Funny and curious, so we're gonna check it out. We're gonna check out what you guys did. If you want to be part of these competitions, I highly suggest you join my backstage. Backstage is 100% free. Big creators are starting to use it very fast. You should get in on it as well. Basically, you join my exclusive community.
He has energy. I tell you what, my
Good
guy.
energy. Good energy, man.
Right. Good energy. Good energy.
All right, a few things I've noticed, and Jude, I'm curious if you have any thoughts, and then we'll continue to go through as many examples as possible. But number one, I felt like okay, so this video is basically a reaction to what the audience has submitted to him, right? If
Right.
we're like getting very specific about what this video is about. I think the energy was great. Like I love the cutting, like getting even more zoomed in. I think it goes to show that even if it gets a bit grainy, like sometimes like we see that in a lot of memes, and replicating that in a video intro is great. I think you could have got to the point a bit sooner. And I think like the plug of like backstage was actually not that relevant in the intro. And I don't know if it was a sponsor deal, if it was something where like this guy maybe has equity or like has some kickbacks or something. He wants to promote it. There's no problem, but he wants to get audience members in there to submit it for future videos. But I just would have kept it simpler and said these are ideas, or these are videos I got submitted to from my audience through backstage, and then move on to the actual content, as opposed to taking that 15 seconds or so and explaining what the app is. We could have got there maybe like midway through, once we kind of earned the viewers' attention, especially if they're new.
Right.
And I also would have loved to see, if you're like saying submissions, like how many submissions did you get? How many did you choose? Maybe give them a shout out if they were chosen right in the beginning. Like, thank you to these people who submitted. I'm going to go through them one by one by one by one. Like, give me a sense of like what's to come. I think the preview could have been stronger, but overall, like energy, you can see how contagious it is and how much it helps overcome a lot of that.
Yeah, yeah. Just the one thing I do want to tap on just real quick. I know we're rushing through these, but the title actually sticks out to me as a human being, and that's something that you hear about all the time. Like, I don't know who JoJo is. I'm gonna be honest. I don't. I think this is like anime or something. I actually have no idea what this is about. But as a viewer, like I think like he knows his audience. He's speaking to his audience. So my viewers decided to dub iconic. Like that is just such a interesting title as I'm scrolling through YouTube. Like I'm like, ooh, I'm kind of interested into that video. And alternatively, he could have just, said JoJo scenes, reaction, big text, all this kind of stuff. But he's like, I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna have some humor that translates not only in my content, but in the packaging of my content. And this is gonna make it, such a, sweet piece of content for everybody to watch. I like that.
Yeah, I do think though, like it is like a like very conversational title, but I think there's wasted characters. Like comma, my
Yeah.
viewers decided to dub iconic. Like I think it's like it's like I would have made it like, again, I would have to watch the full video to get the gist of it. Reacting to like dubbed, like iconic like JoJo
Yeah.
scenes, dubbed by my audience, or something like that. I think the action is not clear. Like if I were to just see the title without even watching the video, I think it would hook me, but for the wrong reason. I would think I'm about to
Ooh.
watch a bunch of people dubbing like these scenes versus a guy reacting to the dubs. You know what I mean?
Woo, woo, and I just got, you know what, you're right, John, because here's a cool thing that I've done on our channel is, you know, we talk about A/B testing your titles and thumbnails. We talk about, hey, if you switch out your title, you switch out your thumbnail, you can give your video better results. A lot of people think that only applies to the click-through rate. I've changed out titles for videos and seen a massive improvement in watch time and retention. Because when you change out certain things that might set up the expectation, like when you post something that sets the wrong expectation, the viewer retention dies. And if you go back and go like, man, maybe people aren't watching the video because they just thought it was something that it's not. Go back and change the title, like John is saying, and you'll actually see that watch time retention go to the areas that you really want to see them at.
Well said, Judah. Yeah, I think exactly. Like sometimes the it's not about how great the title is; it is about how accurate it is to what you're about to show.
I love that.
Yeah. Should we go on to the next channel?
Yeah. So we have a few in the chat on the back end here. They threw in their handles here.
Yeah. I want to get to who's here right now in the chat that we could get to, and I want to, like, it'd be fun to do a live one.
Let's do that. So if you have a channel that you want reviewed right now, drop your handle in the chat, and John, I will let you do the honor of picking one that you see across our screen.
All right. I love the self-awareness from Awaken Journey Media. My channel is the opposite of high energy. Who's been active? I want to reward some. Oh, you know what? Healthy Tiffany, you've been wonderful. You've been active. I want to make sure that we get to you. Okay, let's get to Healthy Tiffany. All right. Okay. First of all, let's not even watch the intro video to start. Let me give you initial reaction. Tiffany, fitness, vlogs, motivation, weight loss journey. Okay, let me see. All right. A few things. Think about the font really quickly. Like I know there's like font for like branding and style purposes, and you may want to keep the cursive. Try a bolder font. I think this is going to squeeze and be very, very hard to see on mobile. Or there's at least like fonts that you could pick that are a bit more like digital friendly. This seems like a nice like handwritten font that I don't know that's translating well. The other thing, like weight loss journey.
Yeah, John, if you, I doubt you noticed this, but do you see that small font up top?
Yes, I was just gonna get to this right here. The weight loss journey. Tiffany, I think like the thing, like I get a sense that this is about your journey, not only about like sharing fitness vlogs and motivation. Because it's you, right? It's Healthy Tiffany. It's not you know, like I'm trying to think about like other Blogilates or you know, if it was the Biggest Loser page, or if it was you know, P90X, or like it's as much about your journey as it is about the program. And I get that because of the channel name. So I don't know that you need a weight loss journey, and that sounds a bit like the wording seems a bit like I'm like I'm about to be sold something like supplements or like a guide or coaching sessions, versus like I just want to follow you because you were there. You're talking about the fitness vlogs motivation. The other thing is like some of these photos are going to be cut out on mobile. So let me actually look at your channel, Tiffany, on mobile. Let me see. Let's go to Healthy Tiffany. Okay. Yep. So Tiffany, like two of the images are like cut off, and this text is not centered. So not the biggest deal in the world, but I think about like just how can you make that just upload and re-upload just to make sure you're in the right place, because sometimes there's safe zones on YouTube because of how often they're updating the UI, may not translate, or because they made a shift, it might be off center, but just take a look at that. So next thing, let's go into your channel. Let me just see how long you've been posting. 3 months. So first off, like this many uploads in 3 months, like that's a huge testament to you. Like I think most people, it's hard enough to go on a weight loss journey, let alone chronicle and document it and edit it. So good job just staying with it and starting to get these reps in, both figuratively and literally, if you want to go down that route. So let's see. Let me watch this first bit.
Hey, John, before you go into this one though,
Yeah.
do we want to take a look at their shorts, her shorts? And
Oh,
see,
yes.
see,
Yeah. Yeah, let's make it consistent to the theme. Okay, here we go. Let's watch your shorts. It's gonna sound crazy, but it's too slow. You know, like I think about like let's let me just refresh so I get the beginning again. What I ate during my carnivore diet. So I think about right now, again, your first frame of a short is the equivalent of your thumbnail in many ways, right? People stop or they're scrolling, they see it, they're making a split-second decision, and instead of clicking on a thumbnail, the decision here is to continue watching. So if I see this, I'm immediately trying to think about how can I take your words, Tiffany, and put it in as many visuals as possible. So here we go. So right now I see carnivore diet, I see meat, it's consistent. But if I want to really visualize what I ate during my carnivore diet, you should be in this opening frame, right? You should be there, like maybe like miming eating, or like the B-roll should be on you. There should be something that I see that implies this. Because right now, if it's taking a long time to read, again, micro or milliseconds matter. And we want to decrease the amount of speed bumps to understand what's going on. So, and then I think about like there's a balance between speed and understanding. And so I think like this is both going too slow and it's too hard to follow. If I was editing this, I would take a look at how can I have on the top like ingredients or diet, keep that at the top, then boom, 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 put one bullet after another, right? As you're editing,
right.
not go, and that way you could go a bit faster while still showing the text so people can follow, versus like, I miss what you put before garlic powder, right? I've already forgotten. And there's a tactic to that. You may want people to loop, but I think give somebody a nice screenshot to take at the end of that. Those are all the ingredients, right?
Yeah, I agree, John. Getting content from a viewer, in my opinion, this is my opinion. I know there's strategies behind that, but like for me, it's exhausting. It's frustrating. And I have to watch a million times, try to pause it, and just to get what I want. You know, at the end of the day, you're looking for viewer satisfaction. You want people to hit that subscribe button. And if the rest of your content, the rest of your shorts are sharing other recipes, and you're going to ask a viewer to stop every time they want a recipe from you, they got to stop and rewatch. Like, you're making it like a maze. You're making it super complicated to get value from your content. That it's like, that to me is a turnoff.
Well said, Judah. And again, Tiffany, I know you don't intend that, but again, it's the thing that I think just thinking about that comes through. And also I think about like my brand really goes to like subconscious branding and consistency. And I'm just thinking about the font that you had on your channel header, the font that you have on your subtitles. It's a lot of inconsistency, right? So I think about like, how can you make that similar so that even on a subconscious level, if it's the font or the coloring, I know without even looking at the bottom of your video to see who posted it, that it's a Healthy Tiffany video, right? You can see this like on my channel, like I'm obsessive about just thinking about ways to subtly use the green color. Like if you go here, like to my channel, you can see, right? So green's all over. And then if you go to shorts, you can see, you know, some of the more popular, you can see some of those views, which are just insane, just like trying out these different formats. You can see the subtitles right there are always in that green. And I'm always using that font, Sharp Sans, right? And trying to make this a consistent experience. That like, okay, if you see me, if you see that, like, which I also think your face is a form of a watermark, as crazy as that sounds, right? Like, how can, like, I've seen like many men on the street, sometimes the mic comes out, but the person's not in it. But I'm like, you know what? Like, if I want to create a consistent tie and also be the audience reaction, if I'm laughing or like whatever my natural reaction is, just like you, if you're eating like you're eating the food that you're talking about in the diet, people can experience the content and the recipe through you, because that recipe can be redone in many different ways. But we want to follow Healthy Tiffany as you grow. So,
right.
And as you like build and grow your channel.
Right. And John, just to add on to the content, you know, one strategy that I see a lot of creators who make this type of cooking content is when they make that loop, they're showing like the finished product, because like you show the finished product, that stops me. Like, I'm interested to see that. Like the way the short started It says, this is how I make this. I'm like, like, you don't get a menu at a restaurant and just see the title of the food. Like, a lot of times, like, you do sometimes, but a lot of times they'll show photos because, like, I don't want a menu with just the words and, like, I don't know what this is. You want to see it. So, and I think a lot of viewers, when they see it, they're like, oh, that looks good. They're attracted to it. You go into how to make it, and that's just a wonderful exit point for showing the piece of the final product again and just looping back into the start of the video.
Yeah, 100%. Like show it, then take us through the journey. And that could be like food. That could be, you know, a weight loss transformation. That could be like a painting. Like that could be a photo. I know my buddy Alex Stamplewski, he has a great channel where he he goes through, and like some of his more popular shorts are like he shows like, yeah, he's basically showing the behind the scenes of the photo, and then either then he shows the photo or he encourages you to follow to see the end result later. So I think there's a lot of truth to what you're saying, Judah.
Yeah. Awesome. So Jon, you tell me, what do we do?
Let's do one more.
Let's do one more.
Let's do one more. By the way, my audio, I've got one, like which mic? Is this my mic that they're saying is tough to listen to? Or like my audio is cutting out? How's the audio for you?
I hear you loud and clear personally, but I think it might be coming through the channel in a weird way.
My mic, is it, and just like curious, like for those in the comments, is it my audio or Judah's audio that is now different? I'm looking at channel names while we go through this. Jon, yours is cutting out on our end. It's popping in and out. Let me try. Okay, thanks guys. Let me try to remove this cord. 1 second. Hold on.
Plug your ears. Oh, it didn't do it. I thought I would hear it pop. Awesome. So, by the way, those of you still here with us, oh, go ahead. Let's see it.
Better.
Let's see, Jon.
It's so interesting that it's been good. It's robotic. 1 second. Let me try switching. 1 second. Let me try switching audio. Check. Is this better, guys? Is that better? I changed it over. It's yours, not his. Let's see. Still cutting. Jon, it seems like a bitrate issue. Interesting. Same connection that has been throughout. Give me 1 second. How about this? Nope. Let me see. Judah, you can hear me all right? It's going through.
I can hear you perfectly fine.
Like crystal clear. Okay, let's do this. Let's do one more. And I know, live debugging, guys. This is a live stream. We're doing it all live. Let's do this. Let's do one more. And hopefully the sound. Okay, cool. The sound quite a bit better. There we go. So I think it's because I raised the gain a bit. Let's see. Like, is that better for folks? But very quiet. Perfect. You're better now. It's like a little glitchy. Cool. It looks like it's gotten better. Now it's clear. Great. Awesome. So, and if it sounds clear for you, Judah, then hopefully for the VOD, it will sound better. All right, let's see. Much better. Thanks, guys. All right, perfect. All right, cool. Let's see. You're good. Run with it. All right, let's see.
Let's do it.
Who should we do next? All right. Okay. If we don't get to you, okay. You know what? Yoga and plant with Ruse. If we didn't get to you, we'll get to you on the next one. Hopefully, here we go.
Yeah, and those of you in the audience, like, this is going to be a video that lives on our channel. So if you're having connection issues, if something's wrong here, the video that we upload will be perfect. So just wait around for that. And also, if you can hear me correctly, just stick around to the end because we still have a TubeBuddy license to give away, right, Jon? Is that the case? We still got a TubeBuddy license to give away. So we're gonna review this channel and then we're going to show you all some love here.
Oh, Ruse, pronounced like Rose. Okay, got it. So yoga and plant with Rose. First of all, great. I love the channel header. I immediately get a sense of like what your channel is about. A little bit confusing with the AA. Like I would just give a subtle spacing here with like your channel just so I could read it, and then after, and maybe you want to use an ampersand. I know that and is like technically like how you spell it in your channel, but maybe even shortening that because your handle is different. But a little bit of like I was just like, what is that word? Is it one long word? Is this 3 words? I couldn't tell right off the bat. But I really like what you're putting out here, and I also think if you have a cadence of how often you upload, put it there, like just like a few letters down below, like new videos every blank. If you don't worry, you don't have to put that. But I always think it's good to kind of like show the subconscious like contract if I were to subscribe and what videos I would get if I were to subscribe and when I could look forward to them. Let's look at your shorts to start off. Okay.
They have the package, another cool Hoya
Yep, let me.
package with eggplant or some plants cuttings in it. I don't know exactly what's in it, so that makes it extra fun. My hair looks horrible, by the way. I just came from yoga. I was sweaty, but I wanted to open it with you. Came all the way from Sweden.
Rose, this is where I would start your video. Again, first frame of a short, think of it like the thumbnail of your long form, right? Your first frame immediately has some sort of intrigue, right? You have a box, you're opening it, you're talking. I want to know what's in that box, right? No offense, I don't want to know you just got back from yoga and your hair is messy. Like, I didn't even think your hair was messy until you brought attention to it. Thought you look fine, you know? But here you have a box, and I think about the framing a bit more. Right now, like think about, can you move the camera a bit further away, have the box be shown in full, put it center, and maybe even play it up like you like have like a bag, a brown bag, you put a question mark over it, you take this out of it, then you move the bag to the side, you start opening it up, like build the intrigue and suspense, right? I think that would help sell this a bit more. Let's keep watching.
Yeah, we don't need to see all that, in my opinion. We can get right to what's in there.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of creators make the mistake of showing too many steps. So it's like, you know, you're opening a box. Yeah, show us the open a box. We want to see that journey. We want to see that story. But did you have to open up every flap and then reach inside? And you're like, I think there's a way that we can show the story and less, you know, with it faster, essentially.
Yeah, and exactly. And then I'm also seeing a question here. That's a really good question. Let me go back to it. From Andy that says, so the first few seconds should be like a preview of the rest of the short. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Like, we don't need to give away the ending right away. I only say you want to do that if like maybe like the end result is something like a cake or a like a painting, and then you want to show like how you got there. But I think you want to build like the intrigue right away. Like, I want to know what's in the box. I don't want to be told what's in the box in the first 3 seconds and then rewind. But yeah, definitely have like a like, underestimate the value of a good series of jump cuts. Stanley said it really well. So
Different type of spelling. And so
every syllable, doesn't matter that like you're correcting the pronunciation of the word. Would most people get that wrong? If you just say it correctly the first time, does that help save 2 or 3 seconds, right?
Beautiful. Only rooting in the bag, maybe cutting. Thank you so much. This little trade we did online. They have the package.
So I didn't even know that was a trade you did online, like until the end there. So it's maybe like in the beginning, I just got this mystery package from somebody I've never met before. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Like, all of that helps build a bit of intrigue. And then like, I want to see like what is this plant for? What are you going to plant it and hope it grows? Is it just like interesting like you know, like a species of a plant that you don't have in your environment where you're living? Like, I think there's a bit more of a payoff at the end. So I think overall, Rose, this is good. Just think about the start in terms of building intrigue, and then think about the end in terms of building the payoff. And in between, cut as many syllables and as many words as possible. It looks like you didn't script this, which is fine, but I would have thought about how can I like be more deliberate and maybe do a few more takes to get a shorter, or at least like a more like a version of it that packs more punch in between each word.
I love it. I love it. John, I know we are strapped for time, and I'm hearing that the audio is not the best right now, and I'm sorry for that. You know, this is our first time live streaming. This is our first time, so have some grace with us. We're going to try to do our best to make sure that the replay is what it needs to be. But thank you for all of that, John. Thank you for sharing your feedback. Thank you. I think the viewers got a wonderful treat because not only have you worked at Instagram and YouTube for 8 years, you're a shorts creator pulling 50 million views a month. And it's like, that is just the most insane number to me when I hear it. So it's just nuts. But what I want to do real quickly, so if you are in the chat right now, I want you to tell me how many subscribers you want to have on your channel by the end of 2023. I want to see what your goals for next year are. Since we're rounding out this year, drop the number of subscribers you want. I will pick at random somebody who comments, and I'm going to upgrade your TubeBuddy channel. I'm going to give you a free upgrade. And then anybody who's watching this in the replay, just leave a comment. It can be about anything. I'm going to go through and find somebody else. And I'll make sure you know that I did it because I'll leave it as a pinned comment. So there's proof that we've chosen somebody and you're going to get this upgrade. But before I choose the winner here, I just want to tell you all that we do have a Black Friday offer going. Right now, if you sign up for any of our annual licenses, you're going to get 40% off of TubeBuddy, which is insane. Like that's such a savings that it should not be ignored. So if you want some like essentially 40% off of TubeBuddy, go ahead and check the link that we're going to also leave in the description for our Black Friday offer. For those of you who are watching this in like December, maybe December. I don't know how long we're doing this, but if you're watching this in like February, I'm sorry, but you're too late. Sorry. Come with us next time we go live and see this action in person. So I'm going through the comments here. John, you just tell me when to stop, my man.
Here we go. Keep going. Stop.
Keep. Okay. Let's see here. It's KK Let's Play wants 1 million subscribers. Is shooting for 1 million subscribers. Is shooting for that gold play button. That is the goal. And you know what? We are also shooting for that same goal. So if you're watching this stream right now, you can help us reach that goal by not only subscribing to us, but also checking out Jon's channel after this stream that we also will leave pinned in the comments below. So you can check out his content. You can keep in touch with him and see what he's doing on his channel. And you can think about what he shared with you today as you're watching the content and pull out a notepad and take notes. Take notes, mimic success. Look at what successful creators are doing and we can learn from them. And I'm just so happy that you came on the show with us today, Jon.
Thanks, Judah. You're a wonderful co-host. And I'd say, like, if you guys are listening, like, I'm just seeing so many great comments. If you want us to do a version of this on other platforms, like, there's things like I could talk about for days about what I learned inside Instagram, like on TikTok. Like, again, we talk about 55 million views here on YouTube, 75 million on TikTok in the past 2 months alone, growing to like close to 100,000, just implementing. Like, this is what we discussed today, because of time, is like in depth, but also the tip of the iceberg. So there's a lot of other stuff. Yeah, let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the TubeBuddy channel. Hit me up in the DMs. Like, I'm here. I always like to say, videos, keynotes, workshops, whatever it is, are the start of a conversation, not the end of it. So Judah and I are here to help. And don't be surprised if you message me, ask a question, I leave a voice note in return. Like, I get I get in depth. So I love the commentary.
Love it. Well, thank you, Jon. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We will chat with you all next week. We have just a video on demand going out. We will be doing these live streams more often, though. So if you're liking this stream, the best way you can show us that you want to see more of this is by subscribing to the channel, smashing the like button, dropping a comment. Not only does that help the YouTube algorithm, of course, but that tells us that we did a good job today, and this is something we should do on a continual basis. I love you all, and keep creating.